everyone. This is a practice video for special angles, but before we get into the practice, I want to review some of the definitions that we need to know. Okay. Actually, congruent is a new one. So congruent angles are angles that have the same measurement. Okay. And vertical angles are angles that are formed by intersection of two straight lines and are opposite from one another. They're always congruent. Okay. So here is an example of two straight lines intersecting, and then on opposite sides of them, these are called vertical angles on opposite sides. Okay. And so if this was 35 degrees, this one would also be 35 degrees. They are the same measurement. They are congruent. Okay. The next definition that we need to know are complementary angles. Remember that if you sit up straight, you're sitting up at a 90-degree angle. Okay. And that means that the angles for complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. So here, these two angles, they add up to 90 degrees. You can see that by this 45-degree angle right there. Supplementary angles are angles that add up to 180 degrees. And 180 degrees is the same thing as a straight line. So any angles that make a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So here, these two angles form a straight line. The straight line is right here. So these are supplementary angles. Okay. And adjacent angles are angles that are next to each other. So that would be, again, these two angles are next to each other, and they have to share a side, and the side that they share is right here. This side is the side that they share. So let's take a look at this figure right here. It says, which of the following describes the relationship between HGI and JGI? So first off, we have to identify which angles are HGI and which ones are JGI. So I'm going to color each one of these angles right here. There are three angles here. And which one is HGI? Well, HGI is going to be HGI, so that's going to be the red one. The red one is HGI. And then JGI, well, that is going to be the green one. Okay, because it's J to G to I, and then encompasses this green one right there. Okay, and we can see that these two angles, the red and the green one, add up to 90 degrees or form a right angle. So therefore, these are complementary. Complementary means forming a right angle. The question then is, what is the measurement? This means measurement of angle HGI. Again, HGI is this one. We know that this angle right there is going to add with this angle to get 90 degrees. So therefore, we can call this X. X plus 62 should get us 90 degrees. Subtract 62 from both sides. And we find that this angle HGI is going to be 28 degrees. Here we have another example of a figure. It says, what is the following relationship between CBD and ABD? So again, we need to define which of those angles is this talking about. So I'm going to again draw these in different colors. Green, blue, red, and purple. Which color represents CBD? CBD is going to be the blue one right here, CBD. And which one is ABD? That would be the purple one, A to B to D. Okay, so A to B to D. So we're supposed to determine what is the relationship between those two angles. Well, we can see that they form a straight line, which means that they add up to 180 degrees, which means that they are supplementary angles. supplementary angles. What is the angle of CBD? Again, that is this one right here. We know that CBD and ABD have to add up to 180 degrees because they are supplementary angles. So therefore, we can set up the equation, call this one X. Okay, 38 plus X is going to get us 180 degrees. We can subtract 38 from both sides, and we can find that X equals 142 degrees. Again, here we have another figure, and it's asking us to describe the relationship between AGF and CGF. So we need to figure out which ones those are. Which angle is AGF? That would be the orange one, AGF, AGF. And in the middle of that is this orange one. What angle is CGD? That would be the purple one, CGD. It says, what is the relationship between those two angles? Well, if we take a look at that, we can see they are on opposite sides of two straight lines. Those two straight lines are this line and this line, meaning that they're going to be vertical angles. Okay, they are vertical angles. What is the measurement of CGD? So what is this measurement? We know that vertical angles are always equal to each other, so this is going to be 90 degrees. The measurement of angle CGD is 90 degrees. It says, which of the following describes the relationship between AGB and BGC? So AGB would be this one right here, and then BGC is going to be this one right here. And what is the relationship between those two? The relationship between those two, because they add up to 90 degrees, are complementary angles, because we give compliments to people with good posture. So this says if angle AGB is 25 degrees, so let's mark that out. AGB is 25 degrees. Then what is BGC? So we're looking for this angle right here. Well, we can create the equation because we know that those two angles add up to 90 degrees. And say that this is X, and X plus 25 gets us 90 degrees. We're going to subtract 25 from both sides. We find that X equals 65 degrees. Here, it says, which of the following describes the relationship between ACE and ECD? What you should have found is that the relationship is going to be supplementary because they form a straight line. Those two angles, ACE is this one, ECD is this one, and they make 180 degrees. What is the measurement of ECD? Well, ECD, we can call that X, and X plus 121 equals 180 degrees. Subtract from both sides, 121, and we find that X equals 59 degrees. Here, it says, which of the following describes the relationship between ACB and BCD? This is going to be, again, because they form 90 degrees, complementary angles. The next question asks, what is the value of X in this figure? Well, we can find X by solving for X by making an equation with these two angle measurements and setting them equal to what they're supposed to add up to. And they're supposed to add up to 90 degrees. So this is going to be 3x plus 8 plus 6x plus 1 gets us 90 degrees. And that makes this 9x, combined like terms, plus 9 is 90. Subtract 9 from both sides. And what we find is that 9x equals 81. Divide both sides by 9 or multiply them by 1/9, however you think about it. X equals 81 divided by 9 is 9. We can use this to find the exact measurements of each one of these angles. Okay. So it says, what's the measurement of BCD? So BCD, that is this one right here. And we know that x is 9. So what we can do is plug in that value right here. So that would be 6 times 9 plus 1. 6 times 9 is 54 plus 1. It makes it 55 degrees. So the angle measurement of BCD is 55 degrees. The next question says, what is the angle measurement of ACB? Well, if we know that ACB is this one and the other one is going to be 55 degrees, we can just do 90 minus 55, which gets us 35 degrees. Another way we could have done this is also plug in 9 right here. So 3 times 9 plus 8, which is 27, plus 8, which is 35 degrees as well. Go ahead and try these two out on your own. What you should have found is that these are vertical angles, which means that these two are equal to each other or congruent. Okay. Again, the two angles that this was talking about is this one and this one right there, ABC and EBD, which means we can use the equation 3x plus 2 and set it equal to 68 because these two angles are equal to each other. Solve for x. We find that x equals 22. Go ahead and try these two out on your own. What you should have found is that these two angles BCD, or BDC, excuse me, and CDE are supplementary angles because they form a straight line and add up to 180 degrees. So therefore we can put these two angles together and set it equal to 180 degrees. So that's 6x plus 4 plus 50 gets us 180. Combine like terms. Subtract 54 from both sides and multiply by 1/6 or divide by 6, either way. And what we get is x equals 21.